Welcome back, folks. This is Shane. I just want to share with you some tones of the Peavey Classic 5410s that I recently purchased. Now, this was part of a guitar shop vlog video I put together on the channel. Found Sound in Melbourne, Australia had 3 amps I've wanted to buy for such a long time. It was great having them side by side. And I ended up picking the Peavey Classic 50 with the 410s over the Fender Twin Amp, which is an amazing amplifier, but it just had a few bugs, and the Pro Sonic, which I could easily buy at any given time of the week, but it was just a little bit too expensive. And you know, this amplifier here basically covered all of the tones, and based on the comment section, most people seem to prefer the Peavey Classic 50. If you're unfamiliar with this amplifier, I'll just give you the 30-second rundown. So this is a 50-watt amplifier loaded with 4 10-inch Peavey Blue Marvel speakers, which I'm not going to replace. These speakers are a perfect match for this amp. Power tubes are EL84s, much in line with the rest of the Classic series, including also the Delta Blues. Now, there's 2 ways you can switch channels. You can just use the toggle switch on the right of the amplifier, or of course you can use a foot switch, which I don't know if it's provided or not with this amplifier. Usually it's an optional upgrade, but the great news is I got one with this amp. Both the clean and the drive channel shares the same EQ controls, and they're very well matched, so you can switch channels and not feel like you're losing the arse end out of the sound like you would with other amps, so I really like this. Each channel, of course, has its own volume, and thanks to the master volume on the right-hand side, you can basically run this amp at any volume. There's also a master presence control. When it comes to the inputs, we get both a normal and a bright. The normal to my ear sounds way better, and I'll be using that throughout this video. Now, this is a USA-made amplifier. It has a real spring reverb. No issues with the reverb like the old Delta Blues where you get it over 12 o'clock and it would start to howl for some reason. Now, not everybody had that experience with that amplifier, but I did. If you remember, like 10 or 12 years ago, I posted videos about it on the channel. But this amplifier, man, it's in pretty good nick. There's a few cosmetic issues here and there, but overall, the tones speak for themselves. So what we're going to do in this video is test it out with a few different guitars, and we're going to make some noise. So let's get into it. Let's start with some clean tones. Now, the amp will be set identically for each of the 3 guitars, which is another benefit of this amp. Let's take a listen. If you were to just buy this amplifier based on the clean tones, I wouldn't have a problem with that whatsoever. If you plan on using the clean channel with pedals, that's the kind of clean channel you get. It's absolutely inspiring and very beautiful to hear. Now we're going to go over to the drive channel, which I think sounds great. We're going to start with the gain at 12 o'clock. I'll work the volume controls a little bit on the guitar as well, so stay tuned for that. Let's get into it. Alright, let's talk about tones and how this feels to play. So if you didn't notice, I didn't touch the EQ throughout the entire video. I just set everything to 1 o'clock and it seems to work great with all of the guitars, irrespective of the channel that I was in. We've got that normal channel, which is my preferred one. There's also that bright channel if you just want to add a bit of tops. It also takes out a little bit of low end, to my ear at least anyway. Now I haven't read the manual, that's just what I'm going by with, you know, years of experience testing gear and owning lots or way too many amps. Anyway, let's talk about the overall tone. So the clean channel has one of the most high headroom clean tones I've heard in a long time. It just doesn't break up at the volume that I had it at. Now, if you push it harder or wind the master down, you can probably get it to clip, but I really love the drive channel. Why use a clean channel cranked past its point when you got a drive channel that sounds that good? And you might have also noticed that I didn't have to go ahead and fiddle with anything on the amplifier, just switch channels and I was good to go. And that's always a good thing. It means you can use the provided foot switch that I've got just sitting back there. With it, I can go between clean and dirty without having to fiddle around. And having that master output volume is great. I love the sound of the reverb. I think 10-inch speaker amps like this, as soon as you get more than 2 of them at a time, they sound pretty impressive. And, you know, it was a real toss-up between this and the ProSonic, but I'm really happy with this. I think, you know, this has got the tone that I was looking for. It's just that big wall of sound, very reminiscent of my Super-Reverb, but more sort of, it's got a bit more meat behind the sound. So it's a technical term, by the way. Anyway, let us know what you think. If you missed my guitar journey to Found Sound, where I got this, which wasn't sponsored or anything like that, I'll link it down in the description. You can check it out. Just shows you the process of me choosing this amplifier behind me, and I hope you like it. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for all the support. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will catch you soon. See ya.